चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं और आप सबको लेके चलते हैं towards the next segment of this beautiful day set out by none other than Inkspell Media. Now it's time for us to deliver the keynote address. So keynote address, again, the topic of this keynote address is beyond direct response, the imperative of brand building and modern marketing. Now this is something which is very, very important because, you know, brand building, modern marketing, these are the pillars of success in today's time and age. We live in a digital era, we live in a digital age, and this is something very, very pivotal. And I think it's really important for us to understand the nitty-gritties of brand building and modern marketing. And to deliver that understanding, today we have with us Yogin Vora, digital marketing expert, ZXZ5. Please give a huge, huge round of applause for Yogin Vora. बजाई नहीं यार, तालियां सुनाई नहीं दी है, बॉम्बे वालों कम ऑन, जोर से बजा दो यार. Just to give a little brief about Yogin, a full funnel digital marketing expert, brings zest to ATL and BTL strategies with roles at Z5, also HDFC Life. He's honed digital prowess in both India and overseas market. His agency tenure spans diverse sectors, BFSI, FMCG, pharmaceuticals, automobiles, and what not. Sir, कुछ छोड़ा है आपने? थोड़ा बहुत बचा है अभी भी. I think next few years ना, learning is a never ending process. I think there's no time, age and bar, I believe. तो like sir said, ये तो बस चलते चले जाएगा सिलसिला. I think now it's time for me to head back and actually give the stage to you. So once again, give it up for Yogin Vora. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. That was a good introduction. And so the topic is really nice. It actually, when I went with the topic and I felt like, okay, this is something which, how the old times used to work for the brand building and other things. So the key components, what I understand how brand building actually worked, which probably I started very late, it was differentiating and competitive advantage. Every brand has always been competitive. What is others are doing? How are others doing? In offline way, if you go to see, every brand has always tried to look what is happening outside the window. Customer loyalty and retention. This is the older way of looking at, and the key components I'll just run through right now. Increase perceived value, consistency and recognition, emotional connection, adaptability and innovation, global expansion, and financial value. Any brand which is built, this was the key pillars that time to looked after. And they were looking at if this key pillars have been met, then probably the success is more higher for any brand to be very successful in the market, or it's India or any other market in that way. But as rightly said before, the success depends on the way the marketing is evolving. Success depends on the way how we are adapting to the new upcoming marketing culture, or you can say the tricks which are happening around. So digital came into our picture. And in the realm of the digital, we saw that online visibility and presence. So any brand, maybe it's a brick and mortar, maybe it's anything, they have to have an online presence. Whether it's a Google search, whether it's Facebook, whether it's any social media platform, that has been the key. If at all customer is looking for you, how will you be present and what is the content you want to show online? That is the must right now in the current era. User engagement and interaction. So there was a time where we used to go on stores, customers are interacting and we look for feedback from there. Now the customers are going on Twitter and just abusing or just saying their feedback, and if the brand doesn't respond faster, the customers will not be happy with the way brand actually responds. So you have to have that particular real-time interaction with the customer in day-to-day life, and making sure you have a command center which helps you to understand if you are a larger business with a larger customer base. Command center does help you to understand the customer, understand its neutral response, negative response. Data-driven insight. So in the new age right now, what we see at, without data, there is nothing which you can operate on. Though first you used to have data on papers and others, now you have data on Excel and servers. And also you have data on all the marketing campaigns and others. So once you start getting that particular data, how you actually use that data for your benefit, understanding the customer behavior, getting yourself, if at all you get a customer call, how the customer will respond to certain things. That kind of a modeling can be done in the future of the way digital, or with the present that digital is going on. Storytelling for every brand, I would always work with storytelling part of the thing, because when working with OTT, whether working with life insurance, I've always realized every brand has to have a story to tell. If they are not able to tell the story really well, they will never be able to have the customer in them, in the success ratio for that. So better to have a storytelling art wherein you start with something. For me, my OTT experience was, if at all there is a release of any movie, what the movie talk about, how things to be, look at the movie for 2 hours, then just figure out what are the things to approach, what kind of a segment to go approach. So that brand helps us to make it sure that customer knows what the story is about and they actually interact with you with a high rate. SEO and online discoverability, every brand in this new age has to have a discovery about themselves, about SEO, at all, whether it's generic or a brand ways, you have to have top of your game. E-commerce and online sales. So now in the way where we used to sell offline, now we're getting e-commerce, online, we are getting into a lot of models that we are not even having customers, product of our own. The product has been shipped for somewhere else, packaging is somewhere else, the customer is somewhere else. You don't need to have anything at a setup level, you just have to have linked everything so that customer just books in, goes off. So we are talking about brand building in a way which can cave in later, saying that, okay, how would I make my customer engage? So what kind of a product to offer them? What is trending right now? Agile marketing strategy. There was a time where we used to say marketing has to be like this only. But currently I would say my working with 2Pace, an old traditional company which into life insurance, and now working with a new age OTT, and in future something different. You see the difference of how agile the marketing can be. When you work with a very old traditional company with the marketing, they will not move their strategy immediately after 2 days. But when you work with an OTT or anything else, which is fast moving like e-commerce, you have to shift your entire strategy within 1 or 2 hours. If your marketing team is ready for it, if you have a team which can actually put that, that is how the brand building will start happening, because if you're not able to move it, you will stay the same place for a very long time. Social proof and online reputation. As I said, everyone is going social, whether it's threads, whether it's anything else. Whether it's TikTok in US or any other country, you talk about any social media platform. A brand goes global, they have to be part of the entire social platforms to make sure the customer is getting the response as soon as possible. Now looking at one part is this, what we learn in books and what we learn anywhere else. Now imagine getting AI into the picture. The entire way the customer actually interacts with you changes. Entire way the machine learning works, it changes. Whether it's a chatbot, whether it's anything else, how you interact with the customer, how you build a brand will matter a lot. Not only with the fact saying that AI is going to help you to code, we are talking about AI can make it sure that you, at a brand level, if you want to convert a campaign, being agile, when I said it, if you want to take something live in 1 or 2 hours, AI can convert your text into a video or a image. So as a marketer, what I have learned in last 12 to 14 years, my learning is always a 20-30% learning for me, rather than I say that, okay, I know something which is very good. If I'm learning Google search, if I'm learning Facebook, if I'm learning say anything for the brand building part, if I'm learning branding for digital, there is no right and wrong answer for me. Maybe some brands like OTT kind of a brand made me to increase my frequency of ads so that the customer actually have an effective frequency to better conversions. Also building that recall value. For other brands who already have so many offices across India, for that I needed a less 3 to 4 frequency to make sure they're actually present. So every problem would have a different solution, every brand would have a different solution. And as a marketer, I've just tried to figure it out in 3 to 4 months at the beginning, that how it will work for you. Other than that, I think brand building is a process, it's a discipline. It can't be done within a limit of that okay, this is not gonna change, or this is not gonna be that way. So it has to have discipline. If you're doing certain thing at a certain level, it has to be disciplined, it has to be agile. It has to be like fluid like a water. That's all. I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
All right. Well, we thank you so much once again, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with all these people in the room. Now, like we promised, it's time for us to move ahead towards the next segment of awards. And who better than Yogin sir himself to actually stay around and deliver the awards for all of us. So, chaliye, isi ke saath, once again, let's move ahead towards the next segment. And these are the Social Star Awards once again. And before we do the awards, because we have asked sir to stay, I think it gives me an honor on behalf of the Inkspell family to actually appreciate sir, felicitate sir, and to do that, once again, I would request Chitra Surana to please come back on stage with a huge, huge round of applause. Please welcome Chitra Surana from Team Inkspell Media. Can we please felicitate Yogin Vora? Huge round of applause, yaar. Taali bajti rehni chahiye.